Good morning, Facebook. It is Wednesday. I think it's October 6, 7, 8, 9, October 11th. Let's talk about one thing. A couple things. Maybe just one thing. How do you know if you and your significant other, some stuff I need to throw away, are compatible? How do you know if you and your significant other are compatible? If you're a Bible believer, when God created Adam, He made a mate that was suitable for him in a land of utopia, the Garden of Eden. Created Eve. And even in that scenario, there was a state of incompatibility. They're as compatible as those two were, God made. I don't know how old you guys are, but if you're old enough to remember, I'm cleaning out my refrigerator. If you're old enough to remember, I'm cleaning out my refrigerator because I don't want it to get messy with old stuff. So I'm going and I'm purging as I go. Out with the old, in with the new. FIFO, first in, first out. Doing this as I go. And I'll tell you guys a story about that a little bit later. And it has to do with compatibility. Even in the world of utopia, the Garden of Eden, the two most compatible people God made in the U.S. of A. There was a state of incompatibility. You and your spouse, your husband, your wife, if you're part of the same-sex marriage, you guys, let's spill some parsley under here. You guys will have incompatible moments. And it's a choice on how you deal with them. Remember, compatibility at the end of the day is a choice. You're either going to choose the high road, you're either going to choose the low road. Your differences. You see, me and my wife now, if she's watching, say hello. I have learned that we have some similarities and we have a lot of unsimilarities. Yeah, you're gonna be like, you're putting this out there for her to see. Yeah. No shame in my game. I've lived with similarities and unsimilarities. I've done this rodeo before. And it is a choice. You get that? It is a choice whether you want to make it work with that person or not. It is a choice, a conscious decision through my type A personality and her type B personality, or C. Type A's. I don't think even two type A's can live together because one's gonna be more type A than the other. It is a choice on whether you guys at the end of the day choose to make it work. I'm more type A than she is. You know, we had the conversation. I said, you're more free spirited. You know, and what I mean by that, if something spills on the floor, you know, I'll get to that when I remember it. I'm more of let's get to that right now. Clean it up right now. I don't want it getting sticky, blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm the type that if I'm sitting there washing my counter, a pet peeve of mine is I'm constantly, and this has no slight against her, but I have a thing for wet counters. That's me. I got to think of wet counters. Whatever that person is, whatever your partner is, has a pet peeve. Has a pet peeve. And at the end of the day, you choose to deal with it or you choose not to deal with it. You guys choose to coexist or you guys choose not to coexist. And I'm going to tell you a secret. If we're making that choice, to live together, to blend, to water and oil, because we're not going to mix all the time. You know, and I know you mix having sex really well. Oh, yeah, we meet on that level. But, you know, after the oohs and ahs become a thing of normality, and when you start doing life, then what? Then what? After the oohs and ahs become normal, no more hurrahs. Then what? This is where the beautiful part happens. This is actually where the beautiful part happens. Let me show you this. You know, my wife came in and, new place, and she made the bed. She made the bed, made it beautiful. She does not do so in her world. You know, that's the thing. That's the lovely thing about it. And I know you guys gonna be like, well, do you make her bed? I'm a type A personality person, so that is a thing of the norm for me. You know, I love her because she is going out of her normality to please me. And that's the thing that I say, you know, at the end of the day, you choose to be compatible. You choose to be at the end of the day, you make a conscious decision whether you want to choose to coexist and be compatible with the person. Because let's face it, we are all selfish creatures. We're all born in sin. I believe that we're all narcissists to an extent. My wife laughs at me when I say that. I say, no, we all have narcissistic tendencies at the end of the day. You know, I come into our other place and it's no longer her place. And I say our place because now I start doing things the way I want to do it. You know, I say this, I'll make a joke. I clean her kitchen and I woke up and there's a lot of dishes in the sink. And I'm the type of person that, you know, I probably might have one dish, you know, keep mine nice and clean. You know, apparently she's a different person than me. But if I am going to make a conscious decision to coexist with her, you know, I am, you know, not gonna beat her over the head, rah, 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 rah. You know, I'm going to graciously clean it. And yeah, I moved some stuff around and I actually made it more suitable for me. There's that narcissistic. I took all her stuff and I'm going to call it a cluttered sink. And I literally made it nice and neat so that if I am going to be the one that is going to be washing the dishes or doing this, I want to open it up and be like, you know, okay, it's nice and neat under here. I can navigate things the way I want to make it. And mind you, here's the killer part. My stuff is getting kind of cluttered, so I have to go under there and clean it. But at the end of the day, we make a conscious decision. We make a conscious decision whether we want to be compatible with that specific person. You know, again, say it with me, after all the sex is done and all the ooh-ahs, or all the hoorahs and ooh-ahs turn into normality, that's when life begins. That's when life begins. That is when we actually start bending towards each other. We start mixing the oil and the wine together. And keep in mind, it's not always going to mix. It's not always going to mix. But because I love her and she loves me, or if you two are two he's and two she's, if you guys love each other, you are going to want to cater to that person. You are going to want to, sometimes the type B's that get with the type A's, or the type C's that get with the type A's, got it kind of rough, you know, because we go by like generals and be like, well, we put a white glove on and do some inspecting. You know, it's tough, but because she loves me, and I told her that one time, I said, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I said, you know, at your crib, you're this way. But when you come over my way, you're this way. What day was this? October 9th. And she said, yeah, I'm like that because I want to please you. I want to please you. And that means a lot to me. I want to please you. Now I would love the pleasing to be on a consistent basis where, you know, at the same time she's going into her world and doing the same things. That's a level of consistency. But that's not who she is. That's not who she is, you know, and you can't force anybody to be what they're not. I can't force her to be type A. Can't force her to be type A. And type A's, type B's and C's get out the shower and don't care if they have anything on the floor. Don't care if they have anything on the floor to soak up the water. It's just a whole wet. You guys ever? I'll put it this way. You ever see a gym shower at your local gym and people have on flip-flops? Imagine walking. This is what it feels like to the type A's when that happens. Imagine walking on that that shower floor without your flip-flops. What the heck is this? Is this water? Imagine walking on that shower floor without your flip-flops. Ew. You tiptoeing on it. You're like, you know, I don't know what's on this floor. We do that with our own floors and we know what's on that floor. You know, but that's that. Imagine living with that. But here's the thing. What I do is I don't complain about that. I just graciously lay a towel down. Lay a towel down, wipe it up. You see how we're operating in love here? So we make a conscious decision on whether we want to be compatible with each other. A conscious decision. She was waking up. I'm going to the gym right now, but she was waking up. I want to come to the gym with you. You know, I want to come and be in your space. You know, there's so many reasons why, even though we have incompatibilities, but when we make a conscious decision to be compatible, let's leave the lights on for the dog a little bit. Be compatible with each other. There we go. Molly got some light. When we make a conscious decision to be compatible with each other, we make a conscious decision to be compatible. Meaning that there is some molding that happens. That's where the love kicks in at. That's when the love kicks in at. So keep this in mind, people. You make a conscious decision to be compatible. It's a conscious decision. Conscious decision. You guys aren't always going to meet eye to eye. It just doesn't happen that way. In a world of utopia, and perfect coexistence between one male and one female, which God created, there was still a moment of difference, moment of incompatibility, and when that moment arises, then what do? Then you guys are going to have, as two people, you guys are going to have arguments. You guys are going to argue. I'm not going to even say you guys are going to argue, because I have another topic about that. It's like, no, I really don't get into arguments, because here's one thing. At that time, the said person, keep in mind, we're narcissistic people. We're literally, people can agree with me on this or not. Biblically, we're narcissistic. At that time, see if I could get. At that time, we are still. Hold on. At that time, in that heat of an argument, at that time, that person that you're trying to convince doesn't give two flying fiddlesticks what you believe. At that time, person, all they're thinking about is themselves. I'll give another post about this. We ran into that example this week with a customer. She didn't care whether I was right or wrong, and put her husband on the phone, who told me to own up to water on the deck. Didn't care. I didn't even argue because I understood that people are narcissistic and people are selfish by nature. Didn't argue. I just said, hey, when I get there, I'll take a look at it. That's all I could say. But anyway, make a conscious decision. See if this got lights on it. Make a conscious decision to be compatible. There we go. Make a conscious decision to be compatible. At the end of the day, like Paul said, I choose joy. You can also choose to be compatible at the same time, even when you're not. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification for more content. Peace.